Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of Franchise Hockey Manager 9 with the Stanley Cup champion, Seattle Kraken. If that doesn't deserve a subscribe and a like on the channel, I don't know what does, but we are fresh off of our 6-game victory over the Columbus Blue Jackets. We win our first Stanley Cup in our 5th season. When did we take over? Here? 1, 2, yeah, our 5th season. It was our second best year overall, 50, 27, and 5. And we are the Stanley Cup champions. And it's free agency time, and there are some big names in free agency, and we've got a little bit of money to play with. And I was formulating a plan in the middle of the night last night. So here's my plan. Plan number 1 involves trading Logan Thompson. He was fine last season, 2.84, put up a 2.67 the year before that, but he's making $4 million. We've got 3 goalies potentially to backfill that spot that are making less than that. So step number 1 is to trade Logan Thompson. Step number 2 is to trade Andre Burakovsky for whatever we can get for him to clear up $5.5 million. Step number 3 is potentially trade Devin Taves. Haven't quite figured out if I want to do that yet, but that step 3 is sort of a maybe if we need to trade Devin Taves. And then step 4 as a maybe is trade Jagger Firkus, who just had an awful year last year. That's another maybe. Other players that could move this season, Tucker Robertson, Jaden Grubby will probably be on the move as they've both regressed, and we've got better options coming up. Speaking of better options, we need to go in here and it's not what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to do. We need to make sure that we get... Where did they go? Oh, did I miss them and now they're free agents? I think I did. Yeah, so, okay, that's fine. We'll find them. So we want to sign Will Sharp. He was our first-round pick a year ago. Meet demand, ask for response. We want to bring in Parker Rondo. Meet demand, ask for response. Jackson Hallam, I think we bring him in as well. Meet demand. Theo Lindstein, we'll bring him in as well. And then I think that's it. Yeah, Luca Hauff, we might end up trading his rights. Oh, Emil Hemming, right, we need him too. All right, and then we talked about some of the free agents, right? There's Kaprizov, there's Eichel, there's Dubois, there's Bratt. But there were, like, Oscar Voulet is one of our guys. We need to make sure we get him locked down. Let's actually bump this up a little bit. Get him signed. Is there anybody else here who's ours that we need to make sure we get signed quickly? Just looking at names here. No. Okay. So, yeah, so step number 1 is to trade Logan Thompson. Step number 2 is to trade Burakovsky. And then immediately go in and try to bring in... if I could bring in Kaprizov and Bratt, that would be elite. So let's see here. And I really am... Okay, so there are options. 6th-round pick. I would almost prefer the draft pick. San Jose wants to send us a 25-year-old who's no good. Buffalo, Ryan Ellis. Yeah, we're going to take the 6th-round pick for Andre Burakovsky. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it. Have a good time in Buffalo. The other deal that we wanted to move was Logan Thompson. Lots of offers here. Noel Chari. 7th-round pick, it looks like, is what we're going to get. Eli Tolvanen. Adam Pelech. I like Adam Pelech. Contract is really bad, but I love the 17 defense. It's a lot of which is what we expected, right? It's just moving them to get let's see if we can Anaheim, let's find a team in the Eastern Conference that needs a goalie. Columbus, do you have any interest in Logan Thompson? They hope to win a championship. All right, which means we might be able to get a fifth. And I would even just take a sixth. All right. Let's just take the sixth. Let's go to our budget. All right, we need to reduce game promotions because we don't have any. We don't have any games. Look at our annual budget. All right. Do we want to raise? Let's not change our ticket prices again. Let's do normal maintenance for 1 point. Our quality is poor. Let's add some marketing. Let's raise development, and we'll stick with the normal budget. We're going to run out of money. Or run out of points, rather, I think. I would like to be able to add seats to change our arena, but we'll stick with that for now. All right. So free agent center, or free agent center. So Bratt and Kaprizov are the two that I really am sort of leaning into here. So what does Kirill want? Probably over 10 million. 9 for 5 is reasonable. And what does Bratt want? Okay. I think we can make this work. So let's talk to Kirill. He wants a 5-year, $9 million. So he wants 5 years. And he wants a cap hit of 9. So what if we do 10 in the first year? Use for all. 9, 9. 8, 8. That is a 5-year, $45 million contract. He wants the no movement clause. I'll give him that. Okay, let's offer that deal. And then Jesper Bratt. He wants 6 years. All right, so let's 6 years. I don't know that I want to give him the no movement clause, though. How's he done? I think he's had a pretty good career, right? 73 points back in 2021, 71 in 2022, slipped to 46, 61. I mean, he's been okay, but I don't know that he's been that good. Anthony Beauvillier. Wow, Matthew Joseph, pretty solid defensive forward. What does he want? 4.8. That might be better. We might be better off with someone like Matthew Joseph. And he only wants 3 years. Yeah, I think we're better off with someone like Joseph, truth be told. Give him 5 in the first year. 4, 5, and 4. Will he take that? No, not quite. All right, so let's bump this up to 5, 5. That's an average. All right, cool. Yeah, I like the defensive ratings on Joseph. Put him on the top line. Put him on the top D pairing with Comp for maybe split him up. He'd be really, really good as a third line forward. So, um, let's go to Coachella real quick. Let's call Kiwi Haru up because we know he's going to be on the roster as well. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of moves to make here, which might allow us to get back into the draft here a little bit, honestly. Let's skip ahead a day. If we can sign Kaprizov and Joseph, we'll have a lot of those like 3-star potential guys that we can move in the draft, and maybe we can get into like the 3rd and 4th round and try to backfill, because we don't have a lot of draft picks this year, right? We moved a ton of our picks over the last couple of years. I think starting next year we have our first again, but so far nothing this year anyway. Jesper Bratt, I mean, I may see if we can get his demand to come down a little bit, but if we can walk out of this offseason with Kaprizov and Joseph, with all the other young players that we have coming up, I think that puts us in a really, really good position. All right, so all of our Shane Wright's on the brink of returning. Lindstein, Voulet, Hemming, Joseph. Okay, so we need to offer more money to Kaprizov. Seattle what? Okay. So he just wants more money than what we're offering him, is what I'm getting from this. Oh, Pittsburgh has offered him more. Okay. Well, we can't let that happen. He's up to $10 million. All right. Offer him $1 million more per year. I don't think we're going to end up getting Bratt, but I think that's okay. I think we have enough offense. What does Eichel want? Just out of curiosity. Oof, 7 years. Logan Crosby. Yep, we'll try to bring him in as well. Why not? Let's meet demand. Let's bump all these up by 100K. And let's sim ahead a day. No, I don't want the job of managing the Olympic team. Peyton Krebs in a 3rd to the Blackhawks for Owen Power and the rights to Jacob Konechny. Interesting. Colorado sends a 20-year-old, sends a 7th-round pick to Detroit for a 20-year-old defenseman. Mattias Samuelsson, now a Panther. Okay, next day. I don't know how much I'm willing to go on Kaprizov. I mean, $12 million for next season is a crap ton of money. All right, so Voulet, we're going to have to... I'm going to have to bump it up a bit. Logan Crosby, we're going to have to bump it up a bit. Just go up to 925 for everything. I hope we don't lose Voulet. That would be really disappointing. Look at that season he had last year in the WHL. All right, so this trade was completed. So we get a 6th-round pick for Logan Thompson. That's fine. Kaprizov, he will be in touch. So, yeah, we now have 23 players on our roster. That number will go up here as more players sign. Shane Wright's back. I'm hoping we can sign all these players before the draft so that I can figure out which depth pieces I want to trade prior to the draft. I have a feeling we're going to lose Voulet, which is a little concerning. Kaprizov received a better offer. All right. Pittsburgh again. I mean, still have some talent here. Beauvillier, still pretty damn good, but, I mean, look at that. He's now looking for $13 million for 5 years. Yeah, I'm not going $13 million for 5 years on Kaprizov. As much as I would like to, I'm not going that much. That's too much money. It's too much money, and we're going to have our own players that are going to start to get expensive here soon. So that's fine. That is fine. So let's take a step back here, and do we go with Beauvillier or Bratt? Bratt 15, 13, 16, 16. Bratt is younger. Can we compare? Bratt and Beauvillier. Compare with Anthony Beauvillier. All right. So they are both. Bratt's 4-star, 4-star. Beauvillier's 3.5, 3.5. Beauvillier's 29. Bratt's 27. Yeah, Bratt is the better player. He's not quite as good defensively, but he's the better player. All right, Jesper Bratt it is. He wants 6.4 for 6. So let's go to his 6, and let's go 8, 7, 7, 6, 6, 5. Oh, he wants a no movement clause. Okay. All right. So it's a lot of money. I'm not crazy about the no movement clause, but he is only 27. So that should be okay. Who are we still waiting on? Voulet, we're going to lose him. We're going to lose Voulet, I think. And I think we're going to miss out on Logan Crosby as well. Yep. All right. Well, it is what it is. Are there any other young players that we can take a shot at? Rasmussen, Poroshkov, Isaacson, Quinn Manti looks okay. A lot of veteran depth that we could bring in if we needed to. All right, that's him ahead of day. Yeah, I mean, Kaprizov's really obviously elite, but I don't know that spending $13 million on him is the best deal, the best option. Matthew Joseph, try harder. Okay. He wants 5.8 now for 3 years. All right, so let's just bump this up to 7, 6, and 5. We got to try it, right? We got to try it. Because that may change what we end up doing in free agency. Okay, so they'll take Shane Wright, which makes sense. Bedard and Wright are the only two players they'll take to make that work. What if I do a whole bunch of like... Okay, so it's not going to work. Good to know. Good to know. All right, draft lottery. No changes so far. Blackhawks at 11. Sharks, Knights, Bruins at 8. Preds at 7. Rangers at 6. Canadians at 5. Ooh, the Sharks dropped from 4 to 2. Ooh, the Canucks dropped from 1 to 3. The Penguins with the number 2 pick. And the Arizona Coyotes will end up with the top pick in the draft. Yeah, we don't have a lot to do in the draft either, because I think we only have the, 3, 4, and yeah, we don't have a first round pick. I don't think we have a second round pick either. Yeah, we don't. All right, so Seattle. So we're not going to get Voulet. Jesper Bratt is getting a better offer from Minnesota. Ugh, that's a lot of money. All right, we'll bump it up another $1 million. So Lindstein, well, he's ours, so he'll come. We're going to lose out on Voulet, which is a little upsetting, but that's my fault. I didn't pay enough attention to Alex Tuck might not be a bad option. His numbers are really bad, but he might not be a bad option either. He only had 15 goals in 80 games. Beauvillier, maybe. I mean, yeah, if the number goes up on Bratt anymore, I think we just switch back to Beauvillier. And maybe the number on Eichel comes down. I don't know. All right. Are there any players we want to try to trade here before the draft and see if we can get like back into the third round or something? Caden Gould regressed a little bit. That's not ideal. His contract is up. So who's looking for defensive help? Calgary. Can we get a third? It's very likely that they'll accept that offer. Okay, what about a second? You think that they will accept the offer. What about a first? Okay, so you think they'll accept a second. What about a second and a third? So if I give you Gould and one of my 3 sixth-round picks, if I give you a 6th and a 7th. Okay. Make a trade there. Where else are we heavy? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are our 7 defensemen. We're really heavy at the forward position. Maybe not really heavy, but we have some forwards that we're planning on bringing in. So Grubby and Robertson. So let's take a look and see about who wants some help at forward. The Blackhawks do. And I know you want yourself a Tucker Robertson. We move into the second. A well-balanced offer. Oh, wow. Okay. But a second and a fourth. Interesting offer. I'm good with this. Tucker Robertson for a second, and then the other one was Jaden Grubby. So let's go down to the other end. Toronto. Here you want Grubby, which means you probably don't want a draft pick. Give me a second. You think that they will probably accept that offer. Can we move up into the first? What if I give you our third? Okay, so we move back into the first. There you go. So that was what I wanted to do. We make 3 deals. We pick up a second, a third, and a first, and we move some players that are not useless, but not necessarily in our future. So let's go ahead and get to the draft. Where are we picking? We have Toronto's pick, so probably towards the bottom. There we are, 27th. Okay. All right, I guess let's just go to our pick. That's not a great draft. So, who went first? Gavin McKenna. Yeah, 18-year-old. Had a medicine hat. Looks pretty damn good for an 18-year-old. All right. So, our scout thinks we should take Mikko Oxinen, an 18-year-old Swedish defenseman. Safe suggestion is Samuel Ranty, Finn. Risky suggestions is Joel Hallberg. Wow, he's a ways off, man. Wow. Noah Degenstein, going to Dartmouth right now. He's only 18. It's pretty good ratings for an 18-year-old. Yep, we're going to take Degenstein. Pick until human. All right. Alexander Antonsen. The second option is Alexei Vlasov or Mikko Juntunen. Juntunen. 18-year-old, 13-12, 13-12. I like Alexei Vlasov. He can't play defense, but those are some really nice offensive ratings for an 18-year-old. So we will take Alexei Vlasov. Scout now thinks we should take Jan Nosek or Oliver Soderqvist. Turkinen. Where do we got? We got any goalies? I suppose I could just filter. I don't even know what round we're in. We're in the second round still? Yeah, we're still in the second round. Ooh, no goalies. That's not good. All right. Let's reset the filter. Oh, Juntinen's still there. We'll take him. So we have a third, and then we have a couple of sixths. Noah Pedersen Askling, 18-year-old. Miroslav Kobej. There's Turkinen again. Safe pick would be Alfred Gilly. Again, an 18-year-old. Not very mentally strong, but decent ratings otherwise. Then we have a couple of sixth-round picks, and that's going to do it. Just saw Mason St. Louis was drafted. That's pretty cool. Tuukka Heiskanen. There's a name, man. I may take them just on the name. Tuukka Heiskanen. Let's go. 100%. Scout wants me to take a goalie, Martin Safranek, check. Alexei Ponokarov. Russia? Yeah. Gustav Eriksson, Carl Sugren. All right, we'll take Martin Safranek. Sure. And that should be our last pick. I believe it was. Yep. That was our last pick. All right. So we didn't end up with one of the best or one of the worst drafts. Let's sim ahead a day, and we'll see if Brat wants more money, we probably turn our attention to Beauvillier. And honestly, going from Kaprizov to Beauvillier is a bit of a kick in the junk, truth be told. But, I mean, how much help do we really need? We're the Stanley Cup champions. We have a absolute metric crap ton of young players. So, maybe bring in Beauvillier and Joseph and call it a day. Let's see what Brat says here, though. All right, so we did sign Jesper Bratt. Okay, so we pick up Bratt. We did sign Matthew Joseph. Kaprizov goes to Pittsburgh, 5 years, $61 million. That's $12 million a year. That's a lot of money. Good thing we made the deal that we did because Eichel signed with Nashville. Beauvillier signed with the Flyers. Voulay went to the Caps. Crosby went to the Stars. So we did lose Oscar Voulay, which stinks. But, yeah, it is what it is, I guess. All right. So we are stacked now. When the season starts, Hallam will probably be in Coachella. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 8 defensemen. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Lindstein will start in Coachella. That'll be our 8th defenseman. We should probably see if we can sign another cheap defenseman. And then let's see what else is available. I mean, we have money. We don't have a ton of money, but we still have some money to spend. Yeah, we're down to kind of the 3-star-ish type players, but that's okay. Let's sign Cohen Miller. I don't know that he's ever going to develop, but 14 offense, sure. Chris Letang. It's $3.4 million for 1 year. I mean, we could do that. Could we? Salary's at $80 million. Somewhere I wanted to go. Cap obligations. Yeah, right now we're at $80 million. We have $10 million in cap space. So Vinny will go down. So that money will quote unquote come off the books. Hallam will go down. Gauthier will go down. We don't have a lot of contracts to worry about. Haig is up. Wynot is up. Wolf is up. So we do need to re-sign. Let's talk to some of these guys. It's a reasonable contract. Poitras. It's a reasonable contract. Cameron Wynot. Yeah, $1 million contracts are reasonable. What about Haig? Yeah, that's more than I want to pay him. That's fine. Jackson Hallam. Sure. All right. We re-sign all those players. So we have... Yeah, we're at 80 right now. What is the salary? The salary cap's 82.5 or something. So I guess maybe we don't have much money. It's okay. I think we're okay. We have 8 defensemen, right? I would like to bring in one more depth defenseman, I think, just to be safe. Someone who can play down in Coachella if we need him to. Brody wants 3.5. Yeah, I'm looking for somebody who wants more in that 1 to 2 million range. JT Brody. Ristolainen. $3.7 for 1. Brandstrom would probably want more than I would want to pay Philip Hronek. 2.1 for 3. That might not be bad insurance for Haig, actually. So what if we went 3 years at $2 million? Sim ahead a day. That might not be bad. That might not be a bad option. Just thinking about it. It's taken a long time to get from the 7th to the 8th. But I'm liking the idea now of having Kampf and Joseph out there on the PK and having them out there as part of our third and fourth line. So Joseph probably sits on that third line with, God, who's our third line center? Shane Wright. Are you kidding? Man, we're loaded. All right. Miller, Poitras, Hal. Okay, so they all signed extensions. Great. Okay, so we are set. We have 27 players on our roster, so I'm obviously gonna have to cut that back here between now and the end of the offseason. But that's going to do it, guys. When we come back, we will get started with the new year. We'll set our rosters, and we'll play through the first couple of weeks of the season as the defending Stanley Cup champions. Again, I'll put the Discord link below if you guys have watched the whole video and want to join my Discord. We're at 40 strong now, so yeah, come on by, say hi. Thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.